Coming up on News for Brockport, find out why Brockport is losing one of his cafes.
Then, see who a Brighton student took to prom.
Finally, we'll tell you how Wegmans is getting on board with New York's upcoming plastic ban. All this and more, News for Brockport starts right now.
Hello and welcome to News for Brockport. I'm Terrence Dickey.
And I'm Imani Coaxum. Let's get started.
Kinetic Cafe will be closing at the end of the semester. The small cafe located in Tuttle North is one of the multiple locations on campus run by the Brockport Auxiliary Service Corporation. Many students are outraged at the planned closing since it is the only place in the Cirque and the Tuttle Academic Complex where students can get food in between classes. Basque has suggested that students go to the Raj Madan Cafe and the Drake Memorial Library. Students have also argued that that isn't a valid replacement. The time to travel to and from Drake Memorial Library from Tuttle North, not taking into account that the time that students have to wait in line will limit students' abilities to get food and making it on time to class. Students with questions or comments regarding the closure are encouraged to contact Basque.
One grocery store is jumping on Governor Cuomo's bandwagon to better the environment. The grocery chain Wegmans is planning to put an end to the usage of plastic bags at its stores throughout New York State by the end of 2019. The grocery chain is also discouraging shoppers from using old ones because bag stands are now changing to accommodate totes and paper bags. Wegmans' goal is to reduce the amount of plastic, including plastic packing, in its store. According to the company, paper straws and wooden steering sticks have been replaced by plastic ones. And even some of the plastic packaging in the stores will be replaced with materials made from plant-based renewable fiber. The changes in packaging will have an impact on shelves for certain foods, even though it will be more expensive for the company. They believe it's the right thing to do. Customers should notice changes in their locations gradually over the next year. It's important to note back in April of 2018, the company criticized Governor Andrew Cuomo's ban of plastic bags across stores in New York State, but now the company is adjusting its ways for their shoppers. New York State will be the third state to completely ban plastic bags. Following Hawaii and California, under the upcoming law, local government can choose to charge people up to 5 cents per plastic bag. A state ban of plastic grocery bags goes into effect starting March 1st, 2020.
You know, I think that is just really great because, our environment, we do have to take care of our earth. It's only one earth that we have, and the sea turtles and just everything that's going on, I feel like it is great steps that we're taking.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And now we're going to toss it over to Alaina and Lexie with This Week in Politics.
Hello and welcome to This Week in Politics. I'm Alaina Jonathan.
And I'm Lexie Cutmore.
This week we'll tell you about a rape trial in Jefferson County, a law that could ban all pesticides throughout the state, and the legal status of offshore drilling.
Let's get started. A bus driver in Watertown has been charged with raping a 14-year-old girl. Last summer, Shane Peesh, a 26-year-old man, showered one of the students on his bus route with gifts and alcohol before inviting her over to his house. Earlier in the year, Peesh pleaded guilty to third-degree rape. Last Thursday, Peesh was sentenced to 10 years of probation, but received no jail time. Officials state that Peesh had no criminal record prior to this offense. As a result, he was assigned a Level 1 status reserved for offenders who are considered to be at low risk for committing a similar crime. This is the lowest level status on New York State's sex offender registry, according to a Supreme Court official. Peesh's sentencing has sparked controversy amongst people in New York, calling into question the judgment of the presiding judge in Jefferson County. People have started petitions demanding the resignation of the sentencing judge. At this time, no further legal action is set to take place against the offender or the judge.
New York is following Hawaii on banning a pesticide that is being blamed for the harm on babies' brains. California and a few other states have restrictions on chlorpyrifos. Chlorpyrifos is an insecticide used to control pests like mosquitoes, termites, and roundworms. It's sprayed on crops like New York's most popular fruit, apples. Studies have been linked to this insecticide to neurological problems in children. A federal court of appeals even ruled last year that President Trump put the public in danger by ignoring obvious evidence about this pesticide.
Officials and environmentalists throughout the state have shown concerns for a potential oil spill. Last Monday, Governor Cuomo signed a bill that prohibits offshore drilling in the state's coastal areas, specifically permits that allow companies to drill in New York's waters. The law directly opposed President Trump's goal, set in January of 2018, to open lease sales of up to 90% of the nation's offshore regions. Once the offshore drilling comes to a close, New York officials expect the state to lose billions of dollars in revenue and more than 320,000 jobs.
New York State is making efforts to ban the declawing of cats. This bill is moving through the legislature and will soon make it to the Democratic-ran assembly. Many people and groups are in favor of this bill, saying it's inhumane to declaw cats because it amputates the cat's toes back to the first knuckle. Supporters include animal welfare advocates and many veterinarians. However, the state's largest veterinary association has opposed this bill, saying it should be a last resort for the cats who can't stop scratching furniture or people.
Yeah, I mean, I know when I had a cat, we never declawed him. It seemed kind of cruel to me.
I agree. The cat I have now, we declawed, but the cat beforehand, we didn't. It definitely scratched up the furniture. I don't think it should be completely eliminated, but maybe just make it a little bit harder so people can't really declaw their cats.
Yeah, I mean, there are obviously circumstances where people do feel the need to do this, but if it's not mandatory, then...
Right. Yeah. We'll see where this goes. Thanks for tuning into This Week in Politics. I'm Alaina Jonathan.
And I'm Lexie Cutmore.
The Greater Rochester chapter of the American Red Cross launched a campaign to install and deliver 1,000 smoke alarms for free in the area. Homes throughout western New York, specifically the city of Rochester, is considered high risk for house fires due to issues of poverty. For 2 weeks, local Red Cross volunteers went door to door, installing alarms in a total of 315 homes in communities like Monroe, Livingston, and Ontario counties. The Red Cross responds to fires almost all 365 days of the year in these counties, and the placement of these alarms are in a response to this and part of the Home Fire campaign. The Red Cross launched the campaign and so far has reached more than 1.7 million people and saved 500 lives around the nation.
With your sports update, I'm Kyle Izard. Thursday night was a chance for Spencerport's Aaron Kuykendall to clinch a milestone. Kuykendall was only 6 points away from 600 as the Rangers hosted the Brockport Blue Devils. Kuykendall got it going early. She picks up 1 point after taking the pass from Natalie Cho and dishes it off to Cameron Stack for the goal. Spencerport takes an early 1-0 lead. After that, Kuykendall takes over here as she takes the pass from Stack and splits it between the pipes for another Rangers goal. Then it's Kuykendall's time to shine. With Spencerport up by 10, she passed it to Kat Wall for a goal that assist marks it. 600 career points for Aaron Kuykendall, who now is the first player in Section 5 and second in New York State to reach 600 points. Kuykendall would end the night with 603 points as the Rangers dominate the Blue Devils 25-1. In the final doubleheader of the regular season for Brockport softball, they hosted the Plattsburgh Cardinals Monday afternoon. In the bottom of the 6th inning, tied at 4, Alexis Ross had an RBI single that would score Brockport High School grad Mandy Lucas. Brockport would take a 5-4 lead. The next batter up, Casey Danko, hits a double to move Ross to third base. Then Jess Koneski comes through with an RBI single driving in Ross. Brockport now has a 6-4 lead. Next batter up, Allison Savage hits an RBI double. Brockport would go up 8-4 after the 6th inning, and in the top of the 7th inning, Brockport looked to put the game away, but Plattsburgh would respond. Emily Nagel hits an RBI single for the Cardinals. Plattsburgh now trails 8-5. The Cardinals would get another RBI single and look to tie it. Jennifer Grote comes through with an RBI double. The game is now tied 8-8. In the bottom of the 7th inning, with the bases loaded, Koneski was up. The Plattsburgh pitcher would end up walking her in to score the game-winning run. Brockport escapes Plattsburgh in the Game 1 doubleheader, 9-8. Brockport would then go on to sweep the doubleheader, taking Game 2 by a score of 14-0 in 5 innings.
It feels really great. We came into this day knowing that if we win both games, that make it to the MEACs, and that helps other teams. And the fact that we know that we can't get in there, us helping other teams is the best thing that we can do at this point.
That marks the final game for the Brockport women's softball team on the season. On Wednesday, May 1st, the Denver Nuggets took on the Portland Trail Blazers in Game 2 of the Western Conference second-round playoffs. Denver, who won Game 1, struggled to get anything going offensively in the first half, only scoring 35 points. Finding themselves down by 15 going to halftime, the Nuggets would make a run in the second half, cutting their deficit to 4 points. The Trailblazers would hold on to defeat Denver 97-90. C.J. McCollum led Portland with 20 points, while Nikola Jokic led the Nuggets with 16. The next game in the series is set for Sunday, May 5th, with the series shifting to Portland. Now for some Major League Baseball action. The New York Yankees dropped 2 games to the Arizona Diamondbacks on their short West Coast road trip. The Yankees fell 3-2, while Masahiro Tanaka picked up his 3rd loss on the year. Ketel Marte homered, and Merrill Kelly went 5 1/3 to pick up the win. The Yankees will look to get back on track with a home series against the Minnesota Twins starting on May 3rd, with the projected starters to be Kyle Gibson for the Twins and James Paxton for the Yankees. And that's your look at sports.
I mean, those 600 points from Kuykendall, that is just a commendable feat. Like,
Yeah, really, I can't believe that she's only the second one in the state to do it and the first in Section 5.
I know. And then, I mean, the Trailblazers, they knocked it out the park last night.
Yeah, after losing Game 1, that was huge to steal Game 2 in Denver, and especially now it's moving back to in Portland.
Yes, that's truly inspiring.
All right. Well, thanks, Kyle, for a look at sports.
Thank you.
Last Thursday, over 40 million people from Texas to Ohio had to face severe thunderstorms and flash flooding. This was a part of a series of torrential downpours that wreaked havoc across more than 12 states over 1,200 miles of the Midwest. Last Wednesday, the people of Waurika, Oklahoma had golf ball-sized hail measuring 2.38 inches in diameter. There were also reports of wind gusts over 70 miles per hour, causing power outages and damages to some cars and homes. The severe weather doesn't stop there. The month of May marks the beginning of peak tornado season for the people in the Midwest, and weather conditions are expected to worsen. Now we'll take a look at weather with Violet Scibor.
Okay, so yeah, you have to be really careful with this weather because it's so easy to just be caught up and it's so unpredictable.
Yeah, and I mean, like, even in the Midwest, like, I know that they have those underground cellars, so you really just have to make sure. I don't know if you need to invest or what you need to do, because these things do happen a lot out there, but I'm praying that everybody's safe for sure. Yeah. Now we'll take a look at weather with Violet Scibor.
Thanks, guys. Let's check out your local weather. Right now, we just have partly sunny skies over the area, but off to the west, we have some light rain showers that will move in for later this evening, but they won't be too terribly heavy, so it's not too much to worry about. Your high temperature for this afternoon is 60 degrees in Brockport, which is around normal for this time of year. Then on Tuesday, our high temperatures will be right around 68 degrees, which is feeling pretty warm, and we'll have a southerly wind bringing up all of this warm, moist air. We'll just have mostly cloudy skies throughout the day, though. A storm system will move on in for Wednesday, bringing some heavy rain showers. So watch out when you're driving for low visibility and water on the roads throughout the day Wednesday. And then for Wednesday through Sunday, we'll actually have a very wet pattern moving in. You can see this green shading is above average for precipitation, and this extends all the way up to the northeast, and we'll be at 50% above average from Wednesday through Sunday. So expect a wet week. For your 3-day forecast, we just talked about Tuesday. We'll have some light rain showers, but mostly just partly sunny skies for the area. High of 68 degrees, low of 55. Then on Wednesday, that storm system moves in, bringing some really heavy rain showers. We'll have a high around 72 degrees and a low around 46. And then on Thursday, we'll just have mostly cloudy skies with a high around 53 and a low around 45. That's it for your weather. Thank you guys so much. I'm graduating this semester. This will be my last weather of this year, but I hope to see you at my future job. Thank you so much.
Prom season is right around the corner. Whether it's the search for the perfect outfit or finding a date, the prom season can be stressful. A Bryant High School junior decided to skip the anxiety when it came to prepare for the much-awaited night. Wyatt Cheadle created a his or her dress with a suit to match by going as his own double date. According to Cheadle, he decided to be his own date since he knows himself better than any other person. It was easier than finding a date. The outfit started off as a joke first, but with this unique creation, his mother decided to help. Putting together last-minute use of creativity, cutting, rearranging different outfits, together created a half suit, half dress. The junior showed off his creation on Saturday, April 27th at St. John Fisher College.
You know, I really love his confidence because, like, you know, you have to be very confident to go in high school to prom by yourself because, you know, it's a lot of peer pressure. And, like, I went by myself, but, like, you know, I did have a date. She wanted to do a different color. I wanted to do a different color. And I was like, let's just shine as individuals. So I just love the fact that he did it for him.
Yeah, and just way to show some self-love.
Yes. Well, that's a look at News for Brockport. I'm Terrence Dickey.
And I'm Imani Coaxum.
We'll see you next time.